Okay, I just caught this muskrat probably last night. Checked this morning and I had this in a 110 conibear. I have a little YouTube short about it on my channel. And I'm just going to go through the process of how I skin it out and what I all do. And I also have a short of me putting up a muskrat hide on a wire stretcher. And I'll go through that too. This might be a longer video. It might take a little bit longer than what some people skin their muskrats, but I enjoy doing this. It kind of takes my mind off of things, and I don't know, this is me time. So what I started doing is cutting the front feet off like that, the big old tin snips. Look at these claws on here. They can really do some damage to a creek bank or a river bank. They dig at the roots and they eat the roots and just keep digging. I'm no expert at this stuff, and I'm just passing on things that I've learned from other people. I always go back to a friend of mine, Scott, and how he does things. Here, what I have right now is I have 2 nails pounded into my bench here, and I'll take the foot. I've learned this from Stu from Coon Creek Outdoors. I'll put the foot on here and pull. All right. Then I have I don't know. I kind of like using a fillet knife. They're sharp. And they're a longer blade. And you follow that fur line of different colors up until right about that joint. Then I'll start it out like this a little bit. I gotta sharpen it a little. I like using a steel. Straighten out that round edge on the blade. Didn't help a whole lot, but what I should have said too is I'll start right here by the tail, on the leathery part of the tail. This will come in handy for those who don't know why. I'll show you in a little while. It's for something for the on the wire stretcher, those grips or claws on the wire stretcher to help grab, or if you're using a wood one, it's something to put the stick pin through for boarding it up, putting it up. I'll switch it, do the same thing on this side. Actually, I'm going to sharpen this again. I'll put a better edge on this. Okay, start on the tail again. And just from the tail, follow that line, which I just missed, or came out of. Alright, follow that line of different color fur. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and start this a little bit. Open that up some. up the tail a little bit. Save part of that leathery part of the tail. There are those church bells again. Then I like to take a little piece of masonry string or some kind of a twine, make a loop. I know some guys, they just go to town and set this muskrat on here and use their fingers and hands to start pulling it apart, but I'm putting it on the gambrel, hanging it from the string. This is the way I've done it, this is the way I like doing it. I'll take the other loop, the other string, put that on the bottom of the foot, hanging up like this, and then I'll start skinning the rest of it. Okay, now this what I got here is I got part of that leathery tail. You see that? I'm gonna pop that through and I'm saving part of that tail. And I'll do the same thing on this side. There. I'll continue to skin. I know I could pull it apart, but I don't want to mess things up. I'll go ring the ankle. Tail out of the way here. Once you get to a certain point, you can, like I said, some people use their hands, but I like doing it like this. I want to go all the way around. I'm coming around to the other leg. Yeah, the muskrat skin is really thin. It's kind of like a cottontail rabbit. Their skin is thin too, so it's won't take much to rip this thing apart. Actually, I should put the camera on this side, or stand on this side and skin. Okay, I like being careful right around here. Here's the vent, aka poop chute. I like being careful more so on the belly side, because the belly is like right there. I don't want to end up putting a hole in the stomach. Doesn't smell the greatest, but ain't the worst. When you do this, don't cut right here, right in this spot. Cut above it. See how easy that is? Then you don't have to worry about cutting the hide. Okay, like right here, I could probably take my fingers and pull. I'm not pulling hard, pushing hard, just kind of working it down. I've done that to the belly, and I kind of ripped the belly open by accident, and I don't like doing that. So once it gets to this point, I'll just take my knife and keep cutting. Make sure I cut up high enough for that connective membrane, and just cut that to avoid cutting through the hide and cutting through the belly. Like I said earlier, all this stuff that I do on my videos is to pass along information that I've learned from friends of mine, watching YouTube. See how easy that's starting to pull off towards the back, on the back side. This isn't a race. What I've done in the past is when I was skinning some muskrats after work, working a long day, and then coming home, or working a long day checking traps and coming home skinning. It gets to the point where if you're too tired and things aren't going right, you're going to end up messing things up on your hide, and you're just going to get frustrated and crabby like I did. So a lot of times what I've done in the last couple of years, I took vacation to where I can just take my time and enjoy this process. See, now we're starting to come towards the head. You got to be careful right around here. The front leg is here. I'm just going around real careful, like putting a little, see, just a little pressure on the knife, a little pressure on the hide. And now I can start, there's this little muscle here, little slab of muscle. Just work that elbow through. And what I like to do, this is why I kind of cut the front feet off. You're going to have to stick your thumb through there, thumb or your finger. Stick it through. And be careful and just pull it off. Now you don't have to worry about the claws. Do the same thing on this side. Just be careful. Don't want to mess things up. See, fingers through. Just sit there and pull. All right. Now I'm going to spin it around, pull it down, work on the head part of it. coming up to the ears shortly. I'm going to get a paper towel quick because I'm going to end up cutting that artery by the neck and it's going to bleed. Paper towels just kind of helps you grip and soak up the blood that's going to come out. And if you're really good, you won't have any blood. Okay, I cut the ear. Cut the other ear. Go ahead and work your way around little by little. Friend of mine, he likes using serrated steak knives. So far, I haven't used any of them. Because right around here, this is where you're going to hit the skull. There's the eye socket, or the eyelids. Here, let me... This is the most delicate part other than the belly. I like it. I'll keep saying this, take your time. I like taking my time. You don't need to rush. Keep working your way around. Okay, now come over here. Work on this part. Make sure you don't cut through the hide. Okay, now I'm coming towards the chin. Just follow that little membrane that's connecting everything, and you'll be fine. As you can see, I didn't hit that artery. Not a lot of blood. Just keep pulling little by little. Get to this point, you're almost done. And there's a little bit of blood there. No, there's a little bit of fur. Just take your time. If you need to, grab the holes in the hide where the eyes were. Just work your way down. Almost done. There we go. Set this paper towel aside. There's your muskrat hide all spun out. And now I'll put it on the board, scrape all this excess flesh off that they don't want on there. I'll show you that point too. Take the muskrat hide, put it on here like a sock. Start wherever. take the beaver tail knife and I'll just start at the top. You don't have to scrape hard. Just get that extra flesh off. Flesh and the fat that's on here. They don't have a lot of fat either. Kind of like a cottontail. Then I'll clean the knife off. Clean this up later. Just scrape down. Some people use a paint scraper, some use a spoon. I found out this works out just as well. It's nice and wide, it's nice and flat. Well, maybe not too flat, it's curved, but you get what I mean. Clean all this stuff off the best that you can. Okay, once this part's done, I'll bring it up, do a quarter turn on it. See all of this stuff right here? That'll have to come off. Along with this here. Like I said, all of it doesn't have to come off. See how well that's come. See, I just put a hole in the hide. Right there. You gotta be careful. If you push too hard, and see, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna take a pin, put a pin there, and a pin there, just to kind of prevent it from tearing anymore, if that's possible. Just take your time. Like I said, there's thin skin, so it's not going to take much. Just work this up a little bit. No matter what you do, how careful you are, this is going to happen. Fleshing coon, fleshing this, any animal. So there's that hole. I'm just going to be careful there yet. I'll work all this down ever so gently. Here's another hole. I don't know if I put that in. I probably did. I believe I am finished with this. Just gonna scrape it off a little bit, real light. All right. Okay, now it's time to put it on the wire stretcher. All right. What I like to do, this is my first year really using these. Squeeze it squeeze the wire stretcher, slide the hide on, put the mouth directly in the middle of the stretcher. Keep squeezing until you get things situated to where you want it. See how it's crooked? You want the legs over here. This is the leg and this is the leg. Spin it, bring it down. It looks kind of symmetrical as far as placement. Okay, got it to where I want it. Now, it's kind of tricky actually. For me it is. You take the claw, the one that's bent in. Oh, yeah. What I found out is wrap the tail part of the muskrat around this middle. I fold it over, just pull down till it's kind of taut. It'll stay, right? And bring that down a little bit. Make sure your mouth is still in the center. And do the same on this side. Bring it down. Here's that part of the tail, the leathery part. That'll help hold these teeth into hold the tail into the teeth. Do the same thing. Just pull and let it grab. It's gonna, oh, that didn't work. Just got to do it a few times. Fold it over, bring it down. There you go. Then take a clothespin, check it out once more. Okay. You could put a nail through here too. Not through the hide, but just something to hold the nose up there. And then kind of straighten this out a little bit. Put a clothespin here. And a clothespin here. I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. All right. There, that's it. Hope this video isn't going to be too long, but this is a nice sized muskrat actually. I'm going to hang this up right here. And then when I'm done, okay, put a fan blowing on it so it dries real nice. Keep an airflow moving through here. But first, before I take my gloves off, I'm going to take some wipes, disinfectant wipes, and wipe this tabletop off, my knives off, and make sure everything's clean for the next time. So if you find this video informative, educational, I think those two go hand in hand. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, give me some tips. I gotta be careful. Good thing I got a first aid kit. Speaking of tips, yeah, when you're in the first shed, make sure you got a first aid kit, alright? So like I said, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment of how you do things. And I'll leave a video here. And my face up there this time. So Until next time, enjoy the little things and tight chains.